thing I was thinking about doing is ranting about how crap Starfield is. Did anybody play
go on,
Starfield?
Go for it.
I played a little bit of
Dude,
it.
I gave up.
I watch people play it, and I'm like, I can't do it.
I went
So-
to
watched
the
people
plot
play it.
twist.
I was almost ready on board to buy that game. And
Oh man, no.
And I watched Az play that game, and I was like, okay. all
No,
right.
okay. So
for
I have no complaints about Az's complaints, right? But those problems, like that whole pronouns thing, is like just the absolute, just the tiny fleck of crap on top of a giant pile of crap. You know what I mean?
Way more things wrong with that game than just the pronouns.
That's the thing that I was having
Richard-
issue with. It wasn't actually the pronouns. It was actually you got the long cut screen until you
It was
load
awful.
until you travel, and I was like, I'm not playing another game that has something like that.
Richard, how
Well,
buggy was it for you?
Well, it wasn't that buggy. I got it through, mind you, this was on a Series X with Game Pass, right? And
Same as me.
I mean, I think, like, to me, I was amazed with how bad it was just from the very beginning. People are like, oh, well, it's not like, it's not like Bethesda games have good intros usually, blah, blah, blah. Like, they have
like
at least
this,
passable. They have
Otter,
passable
remember when I was
intros.
playing it? And I was like,
But-
the intro is dog shit. Is literally
Oh, it's
It's
awful. It was
pretty
painful.
bad.
It was
Oh,
painful.
People like
I
to
see you
rant
woke
about
up- I see you
Skyrim's
woken up.
intro, but it's nothing compared to Starfield's intro.
Yeah, I mean, Starfield, it just shows how little they care. There was literally no purpose to the first however long, and everything is so on rails. This is the most on rails Bethesda game of that they've ever put out, And man, just everything is. I did have a bunch of bugs with shipbuilding and outposts. Those got bugged all the time. But I mean, this thing was just. It was also boring. I mean, there's no war going on. Everybody's kind of at peace. Okay, it's a tentative peace.
So imagine Skyrim if the dragon never descended and there was no civil war.
Yeah. And Mike, they took a hard sci-fi setting, right? With all this, what do they call it, like NASA punk or whatever?
Yeah.
Which I don't mind the aesthetic.
And they
at
used
all.
it to make Animal Crossing.
Well, then they used it to make. Then they injected a like some high fantasy sci-fi style story. You know what I mean?
yeah,
like
with the Starborn.
yeah, the Starborn. Like, could you be more lazy?
Oh,
Yeah, and I
it's
think that
worse,
was
Richard.
supposed to be
It's
the.
worse.
I think that was supposed to be the unique twist of the setting. It's just
And it was
no,
supposed to
not
have
on
a
the
whole
board.
lot of
What is
There
content
was-
and
I was waiting for it to be. I was waiting for
hold
them
on.
to like.
These
be-
people must have been like Marvel. Like they must have gotten
multiverse.
addicted to the whole multiverse Marvel thing that we were just talking about. And they're like, oh yeah, we're gonna
God.
do multiverse. That's sci-fi. That's cool.
Think of them as Starborn, eternal champions, if you will.
Definitely
Definitely
multiverse
already.
in writing.
I love multiverse, but it seems like they're overusing it.
Yeah, it's becoming like the open world gaming of writing. Every game is open world game after it became open world. Like Grand Theft Auto came out.
I
It's like
watched
time
Az
travel.
go to other planets, and they didn't have anything on these freaking planets.
Oh yeah,
Because
it's awful.
That was the big selling point, is that you had all these thousands of planets and everything and all, and this was going to be a big world to explore, but there was fucking nothing.
Yeah,
That's
it was a
because
big
they
waste of
fucked
time.
up on a lot of procedural content.
Well,
Like,
It just works.
yeah, man. When they forget to add,
This is
little
also the
things
problem
constantly.
with introducing multiverses and time travel. If you don't put
Yeah.
a hard limit on that, it'll inevitably spiral into like this timeline reset where none of it
I
happens.
had to do a lot of hard thinking about that and how it works before I proceeded, because I'm not. One of the things that happens in the frequency multiversal clusters, you cannot have a collapse of the multiverse. You cannot destroy existence. I'm not going to have people going around grabbing variants of each other to replace dead people. I am following two realities for the most part, and that's it. And they go back and forth between them once.
I mean,
there's no
technically you
universe
can-
where Haley has a potato cannon instead of just a potato gun.
Technically, you can have existence.
Probably, but
collapse
I'm
on
not
itself.
exploring it.
Technically, you can, from a writing perspective, have existence collapse in on itself, but you break a basic rule of writing, which is just wasting the reader's time.
Mhm.
Yeah.
If nothing
really
really
the basic
matters, why
problem.
would they read the story? It
Right.
makes no fucking sense. Sorry, forgive my language. I've
I'm-
seen it so
Tower.
often. It pisses me off, man.
Yeah,
After the mainline
Razorfist had a
series-
good rant about it, but I mean, it's just this man. That thing is just such like beyond the bugs, beyond anything else. It was just designed like I think they designed everything separately and then just smushed it all together. And we're like, this is going to make a good game, surely.
Oh, like the PlayStation 5?
Right? Yeah, no, they
No system integrates at all.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's like they were like, we're gonna do the somebody build planets. Okay, cool. Okay, somebody work on the spaceship builder. Okay, that's a game, and that's like a
somebody
mini
work
game
on
that
writing
everybody
a
can do.
compelling character motivation.
Right.
Crickets. Guys, anybody?
The main story is worse than Skyrim's, by the way.
Oh, by a huge factor. Yes.
I was never offended by Skyrim stuff. Maybe because it was always modded and had.
I liked Skyrim. I thought it was fine as far as the main story goes. I don't know. It was
You don't really do anything in the main story. You just go to you
Yeah.
go to temples, you get the fucking shit, or you get the artifact, then go to the tower, and then you
Mhm.
just kind of nothing happens.
yeah. The rest of
Uh,
the game is really the best part of Skyrim. You know what I mean?
And plus, there's so many mods out there for Skyrim now that make the
Yes.
game like so many storylines and like there's one I
Some
played a
that
while
are even
back.
their own games.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Well, did
a
you
lot.
hear? Apparently,
brought that up, Christian.
one of the new
I'm
things
sorry. I don't
about
think you brought.
what was that?
Crow.
I'm
is
sorry.
happening?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm
Don't
sorry.
let him talk. He ain't got much time to be here.
Oh no, it's all right, man.
Go.
Okay,
Go.
okay, I'll go. Anyway, I was just saying that one of the other things about Starfield is that apparently it's not even as compatible with mods at release
Oh, no.
as everything else
Oh.
was. It's like it's the worst Bethesda game for modding, period, because of a bunch of extremely they did basically, but yeah, there's a bunch of chicks and all of them are lame. But
Wait, a gay
And some of them are gay.
female lead with a bow and arrow and a side shave? What?
Oh,
I've
In a
never
video
heard
game?
of that before.
Shocking.
Oh, that's what I forgot to do with my characters. Give her the shaved head.
There you go.
And,
Even though
No,
she's too
either.
young to
Oh,
be
I screwed up.
thinking about that much anyway. Yeah.
yeah, that's what I told Otter when I've done a fucking whole playthrough of that game, almost everything. It's okay to have gay characters, but when like every other one is a gay character,
Billy Bob, don't give him ideas, man.
Oh, my
no,
God.
seriously, that's what it's like in Starfield. You go up to a dude, you talk to him, and he's like, "Oh yeah, my husband, or my wife, or whatever."
He's like, yeah, no, those components, I can have him in next week. By the way, I love
Are
crank.
there a freaking beta male that don't know how to stand up for themselves?
yeah,
It's
I
like
don't
the
know.
it's like the original Star Wars poster with like Leia hanging onto Luke's leg, which is weird with context later, but like reverse the roles. It's Leia and Luke just like
Well, hold up, Christian. To be fair, he didn't come up with the whole Leia shit until like Return of the Jedi.
yeah, man. They like there was a that wasn't that was not a family kiss.
but like Billy just said, I think he was originally intending to have them get together and then later changed his mind.
Oh yeah, he was. He's talked about it. Like he had an entire other character who was going to be Luke's sister in the third movie, and then they figured out they don't want to introduce this character suddenly because that would be dumb. Rise of Skywalker.
I think it's more along the lines of Carrie Fisher and Harrison Ford had good chemistry together, and they didn't want to waste that.
Well, they were also
they
fucking
were
during sex,
roommates.
so-
Yeah, for a while. Even though he was
they were
not.
having an affair.
It was very public too. It was like nobody
I honestly
didn't
know about it.
Oh,
Me
well,
neither.
Wrangler didn't know. Sorry.
No, seriously,
But-
what I don't read up on celebrity gossip for the most
No,
part.
that's
ever
me too.
because-
I just kind of ignore it.
Well, Carrie
Yeah,
Fisher
I
was a
mean,
party
like that's
girl.
their private lives, whether for better or for worse. I don't want my laundry clean or dirty, just thrown all over.
It'd
You
probably
know,
be better
magazines
than
and
Mark
newspapers
Hamill.
and-
Mark Hamill that wants to like abort his grandchild.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was telling
Yeah,
his
that-
son
that's-
to
He's
abort
such a
it.
talent, and he has said the word. Every time I hear him speak on anything not related to a movie, I just have to go away. It's so
Hey,
bad.
Richard, did that KOTOR remake get canceled?
Please say yes. Please say yes.
I-
Please say yes.
I think it did, but I don't know for sure.
Were they remaking it or like just revitalizing?
No,
like,
a complete remake.
They
No,
were, yeah, they
remake.
were gonna remake it to be, and they were gonna like, modernize the
Yeah,
story
modern
or
audiences.
whatever.
Oh, jeez.
Bro.
You had like
Anybody else
It's
get
like,
scared when they
it's like
hear
Revan
modern?
turned to the dark side because he felt like he was a woman and the Jedi
Yeah.
wouldn't accept it.
He turned to the dark side because of gender dysphoria.